First of all, Albert, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the deal signing with the club. First of all, I just want to know a little bit of background. How did the move come around after leaving Melbourne?
Yes, the season was coming to an end, and I wanted to finish things up with Melbourne. And the boys were in a very good final series. So once that grand final finished, I started talking to my manager about options for next year, and then he sort of brought up the point about going to play in the Super League. And at first, I was a bit hesitant about moving all the way to England to play footy. But once I talked to a few people, they definitely convinced me, it was the right move for me at the age I'm at in, wanting to keep playing footy and keep growing. I'm only 27, so, I know I still got a lot of footy in me, and I'm very keen to get over to England and learn. The reason how KR came about is my manager knew Tony Smith, so he got in contact with him, and then that's how it sort of come about.
Well, yeah, it sounds perfect, and you certainly are. You're at that perfect age, 27 years old. Most people say that is a props prime. Are you excited to come over to Super League? Playing some of those teams. You obviously played across the NRL for quite a few years now, playing against and for Melbourne, but then playing against some of those teams, like getting there in the whole derby, things like that the Super League has that NRL doesn't. You excited to step out in front of those crowds when they're finally allowed back in the stadiums?
Yeah. Probably didn't follow the Super League like earlier on in my career, but over the last probably 3 or 4 years, I've really noticed the rivalry between teams. Especially when Sam Tompkins came over to the Warriors, I sort of started taking notice about Wigan, and obviously Thomas Luluwai, about the history they used to tell me about, stories about the crowds there and how intense the football is there. And that sort of hearing that, then I sort of started following, how teams are tracking over there. And obviously now I've got a lot of friends that play in the Super League, spread across teams. And I've talked to them about their experiences, and they love it. Like, they couldn't talk it up enough. And now I'm really excited about this next journey in my career, and I'm really excited to get over there. Hopefully in early January, and get to work and meet the boys, meet the fans, and get amongst the whole rivalry. I heard it's pretty intense, so pretty keen to get stuck into that.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is.
I know a few guys in Hull FC as well, so it'll be good.
Yeah, well, that'll be from your time representing on the international stage, and a few of the boys over there. You say that your manager was the one that kind of got you interested in the club, put the thought of Hull KR over there with Tony Smith because he knows him. Have you had many conversations with Tony or the recruitment team over at Rovers?
I spoke to Tony a couple of times. Best part of our season with Melbourne this year, we were stuck in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. So once I got back into the NRL playing, I had a few phone calls with Tony. He was just wanting to get to know me, see how I was traveling, and I'd been coached by a family member of him, and Ryan Smith, when he was at the Warriors. He's now at the North Devils in the Queensland Cup, but we just sort of just talking footy, and then sort of got serious when the season finished. Then caught up with Tony, explained to me where the club's heading. Obviously pretty disappointed with how the season went this year, and wanted me to come and add value to the club, and that's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, well, that's all promising stuff. There is, you mentioned it before, the whole rivalry is one of those huge things that's in the Super League, but there's the crowds in the UK that you say that, some of the boys that you were speaking to previously, Sam Tompkins and Thomas Luluwai, when you're at the Warriors, they mentioned that fan base and how huge it was. it's a real shame for people that they can't really get into the stadiums. Well, they couldn't towards the end of the season. But are you excited for that opportunity to hopefully come January, people are allowed back in the stadiums? Are you excited for that opportunity to step out in front of those fans and hear the roar of that huge East stand that we've got?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it this week. Talking to Tony, and obviously he said, the fans are very passionate about their team, and I'm looking forward to getting amongst it all. I heard they love to do a lot of singing and that, which is a bit different to the New Zealand and Australian crowds, but I reckon it's going to add a lot of atmosphere back into rugby league and the Super League. It's been pretty tough with COVID for not just the Super League, but the NRL as well. Had that period where it was sort of playing in front of no one, and you could just tell the difference in games. Like when the crowds did come back, playing this year, how much that added to the intensity, and I got no doubt that it'll be the same in the Super League once the crowds are allowed back.
Well, during your time with Melbourne, obviously winning the Premiership, you're coming from really good pedigree of a club. But not only that, you've had a chance to work with, you've had a chance to work with some of the best players, well, the proven best players that there are in the game, amongst the likes of Cam Smith and everyone like that. How did you value that time, and what is it that you could possibly bring over from what you've learned with them to OKR?
Yeah. One of the biggest things I learned about the big game players of Melbourne, Jesse Bromwich, Dale Finucane, Cameron Smith, Cameron Munster, they're not satisfied with how they're going at the moment. Like last year, they finished minor premiership. We come into the preseason and they were filthy about not making the grand final, and that to me they just showed they're not satisfied where they are, how they're playing. They're always wanting to improve, and that sort of taught me something about my game and about not getting comfortable where I am, like trying to get better. For me, the most important thing I found was how competitive training was. I thought that was a big factor in why Melbourne were successful this year, was how competitive trainings were, how intense and how fast they were. And Craig, that was one of Craig's big things is training's fast and the game's easy. So yeah, that's definitely something I'll be trying to bring along with me to HLKR and try to lift the intensity of trainings.
Yeah, and then just lastly, and stepping away from the game and more into your personal life, I believe you've got your life's about to get a whole lot busier with a third child on the way. First of all, congratulations. You obviously you're spending your time in your hotel in your 2-week period for the birth of your son, so you can be there a week later. It must be a great feeling for yourself, that right before Christmas as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm just currently stuck in quarantine, trying to get some sleep before it gets into mayhem when I get home. But I'm very excited. I got a son due in December, and I've got 2 girls already. So I told my wife that's enough kids now. I've got my son. He can be my my little ball boy at training. But very exciting times for me and my wife and the kids. And now I'm looking forward to bringing him along to England. He's probably going to grow up with an English accent. He's going to be an English tongan.
Well, yeah, we'll get him an extra small kit, and he can be the ball boy on the sidelines for us. Have the best view in the house. Albert, first, thanks very much for joining us, mate. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the new year for the pre-season.
Well, good man. Thanks for having me.
Much, pal. Cheers.